Ignition sequence starts. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. Liftoff. We have a liftoff.
Hey everybody, this is the Digital Asset Investor, and today I do have cinnamon in my coffee. My mother was kind enough to get some cinnamon. I ran out last week, and she bought me a refill and surprised me with it. And so I had gone to the grocery store a couple of times and just kept forgetting to get it. And then my mom actually listened to the Digital Asset Investor and heard me say it. And as mothers will do, she went out and helped her baby out, I guess. Anyway, I wanted to thank XRP_veteran. Follow him on Twitter if you don't already. He sent me this article, and I wanted to talk about this and hit the high points. This is an interesting article by Investing Haven. Why Ripple is the #1 blockchain investment for 2019 and 2020. And I wanted to just read a few of the highlights of this. It's a really good article, and this guy in the past has written some really. His name is Taki Saklanos, and you can find him on Twitter too. He's their founder and lead analyst. So, but he really makes a lot of sense in the things he says. He says the reality is that Ripple as a company is working very, very hard to realize value with its blockchain platform, and in doing so, increase value of its XRP token. Ripple, and then he gives 3 points basically to tell you why XRP is the best. You already know it's the greatest digital asset ever created, but XRP is also the best blockchain investment for 2019 and 2020. So he says Ripple, its strongest capability to speed up cross-border payments with a factor of 1,400. Indeed, you got this right. Ripple is close to increasing the cross-border settlement time 1,400 times faster than today. Any investor on this planet who has looked at young startups knows what just this fact means for future value. Ripple, however, appears to be going one step further. It is working to facilitate the tokenization of digital assets. That's what this video below reveals. The tokenization of digital assets is, next to speeding up payments, one of the great values and opportunities in blockchain. And this was something that came out in the video series that Ripple has been doing. They did the 7th one, I believe, this past week. It's called the Ripple Drop, and in the Ripple Drop, one of the people in there, which it's in this article if you wanted to watch it, or you can go to Ripple's website and check it out. But they did say, for the first time I believe I've ever heard them say, that they are working on probably what he says here, one of the biggest things, which is the tokenization of securities, more or less. So if you look or tokenization of everything, is I've heard it said too. It could be the tokenization of people want to buy an apartment building, the tokenization of that apartment building so that your investment becomes much more liquid than it traditionally has been. Or let's say they wanted to tokenize Microsoft stock, turn Microsoft stock into a token, and that stock could represent anything. It could represent the ownership of the stock combined with anything. I'm just making something up on the spot. Let's say you had a share of Microsoft stock that gave you 1 share of their stock and also entitled you to every time that they came out with the new Office suite, the updated version, you would get that for free with that token. or your token could represent 25% of a share of Microsoft stock and something else. There's limitless places that this can go. But what's important to note is that Ripple recognizes how huge this is going to be, and so they're going after this market. The third thing he mentions in this article, he says Ripple even goes one step further. It will combine the 2 points above by enabling incentivized tokenized digital assets as an alternative form of payment. And I think what he's talking about here is, imagine a world where very easily, let's say you owed me $100, and I said, well, can you give me, how about you give me 30 XRP and 1 share of Microsoft stock? And you would be able to immediately transact that. I believe that that's what this means. But just imagine that's what the type of things that would be able to be done if you had stocks and real estate and lots of other assets and different things tokenized. You would have digital assets that currently exist, and you would be able to flow in and out through all of these types of digital assets or tokenized real estate or tokenized securities, and you would be able to flow, and everything would be so liquid that you would be able to combine all of those things or trade in those things. We're talking about a whole different world. And Ripple, as they do with everything else, they recognize how huge this is going to be. All right, moving along with his article. This makes Ripple by far the most promising blockchain investment from a fundamental perspective. Not any other cryptocurrency or blockchain startup that is accessible to the public, and then he puts in parentheses, not restricted to accredited investors, has such a promising outlook for adoption, commercial growth, and fundamentals as a blockchain investment. If anyone can challenge us on this viewpoint, we are very interested to hear this, and we are open to revise our viewpoint based on this. All this suggests great relative strength and underpins our thesis that Ripple will eventually overtake Bitcoin as the largest cryptocurrency. Well, way to go. These guys did a great job on this article. I'm the digital asset investor. I'm not an investment advisor. This is for entertainment purposes only. Please subscribe and hit the like button, and tell your friends and family that Ripple is the #1 blockchain investment for 2019 and 2020. Thanks for listening.